Good morning and welcome back to West Ham Manchester United. I am Anton, bringing to you our West Ham transfer news show. There is news all over the shop. This was aimed and is going to be aimed at one player and one player only. However, we're getting news potentially about the non-inclusion of Jesse Lingard for the England squad. However, I'm going to hold off till 5 p.m. to wait and see what happens. And we may be bringing you a video live in and around that time later on today. There's also news that potentially Alex Kroll has officially agreed personal terms with West Ham. This was when he was playing for Slavia Prague. Of course, he's at Spartak Moscow just now, but it looks like this deal is going to go through. Keep your comments coming in and let me know your thoughts on that. And adding to that, Tommy Souček is up for Player of the Season, and what a fantastic plaudit to have for our midfield maestro. 10 goals, 1 assist, and you can see all the stats there: 13 block shots, 62 interceptions, 102 clearances, 16 successful 50-50s, 246 recoveries. The man is a machine, and he has been doing that all season for West Ham. So there's so much news to do. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into that, and we'll maybe put a show out later on this evening. However, I am on a bit of a time constraint this morning, so we're going to get cracking on with today's show, and that is the Czech sensation, Adam Hlozek. He's a fantastic player. So do West Ham have a chance in buying him? He signed a 3-year contract extension only last week with his club Sparta Prague, and before signing for sorry, I'm totally lost there. So of course he signed a 3-year contract extension only last week. However, what I will say to you is Vladimir Sufal also signed a contract extension with Slavia Prague literally months before signing for West Ham. So I'm not going to get carried away with the fact that he signed a 3-year contract extension with his club Sparta Prague. So it's going to be an interesting one to see if this one can develop into it. But let me talk to you about the player himself. He's been playing at the top level of Czech football for a couple of seasons now. And despite being just 18 years old, he plays in the Czech First League for none other than Sparta Prague, the league's most prestigious club. Let me get some images up here for you so you can see them as we go along. 18-year-old Hlozek began his footballing career with his local side, now excuse my pronunciations of football clubs, FC Ivančić, located in a small town in the South Moravian region of Czech Republic. Small town with less than 10,000 residents and some trek away from the capital, which is Prague. His talent shone so brightly that he was eventually picked up by Sparta in 2014, and since his early teens he's been touted for big moves to lots of European sides, but his decision to stay at Sparta has reaped its rewards. It was these intense transfer rumours that forced Sparta's hand. Either they played him or they lost him, and they would lose out and lose him for a significantly low fee that they could push for now. And as a result, Hlozek would become Sparta's youngest first-team debutant in their 127-year history. Aged 16 years and 2 months old, he came off the bench in a cup fixture to play his senior minutes. 7 minutes into that, he scored. Some start an already sparkling career. He's 6'1". He's taller than your average winger. Why am I saying winger? Because he originally started playing in that position, but he retains the dribbling abilities of a player much smaller than his stature. He is, however, better suited to playing as a centre forward, where he's played the majority of the minutes this season. He's a player who can score an assortment of goals, curled efforts, taking it round the keeper to score into an open net, absolute long-range belters, soaring headers, and he literally has it all. For such a young player, he's got a variation in his movement, typically seen by players at least a couple of years his elder on the counter. He can play off the man, but as you know, he knows how to hold his run and stay onside. A skill which many players need to fully learn. Inside the box, he knows when to stay still and when to move to the last moment to latch onto a driven cross. It helps too that he possesses tremendous finishing. He's played a few matches on the left wing this term, but overall, the large majority of his matches have come as a centre-forward this season. And just like the now sporting director from Sparta Prague, Tomas Hlozek, he's got a bit of creative flair about him too. His ball-carrying ability, which has come on leaps and bounds since his professional debut, aids him in getting into positions in a real threat. Running the channels not only carves out chances for himself, but he also creates space for his teammates to enter, allowing him to find them with key passes. He's posting a high number of goals and assists at such a young age. Of a player who is calm, he's composed inside the area, knowing when to pass or when to shoot. His decision-making is bright, he's resolute, and he keeps defenders guessing what he's going to do next. Playing out wide, he uses his pace to burst towards the byline before cutting in and using quick thinking to lay off the ball to a teammate in a more dangerous position. Everything that Moyes is looking for. He works so hard out on the wing and for the team, and he allows all the other players to come into it. He then he went on to become the youngest goal scorer in the history of the Liga in Czech after scoring against defending champions Victoria Plzeň. In December 2019, he was selected in Czech Republic's best talent, beating a host of other exciting youngsters. He's among... So, yeah, what do you think? Please keep your comments coming in. He's a frighteningly good second striker, and I'm not just saying that. He mostly plays as a shadow striker behind his team's main number 9. Obviously, we're looking for someone, and we've been playing with players in that position, but he can still considerably play well on the left-hand side of the flanks. He can't be pinned down in one position in the field, however. This enables him to create a lot of spaces, like I said, for his strike partner, as well as isolate a lot of the opponents. So that could take them in a one, like he can go on one-on-one situations. He likes taking on opponents on one-on-one every time he gets the ball, which is a testament to his confidence and his ability to take responsibility. The 18-year-old possesses a good physique, and he is pretty strong and mature for his age. He's averaged just over 5 attempted dribbles a game last season with a success rate of 78%. What a fantastic success rate. And you know, that's a better success rate than players that we all know: Neymar, Hazard, Coman, Lionel Messi, you know, top dribblers in Europe last season. Well, not Hazard, but we're relating to Hazard's best season when he was at Chelsea. His best attribute, though, I could say personally, would be his shooting. He can generate a lot of power on his shot without even having to do a long run-up. He uses his stamina to retain the ball in tight spaces before finding spaces to shoot. All you need to do is think of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank when he was at Chelsea. If you can think of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, how he had the ability to smash that ball, Hlozek looks like he's got the same ability, and he does offer that excitement thing. So let's look at his stats for this season. He's played 19 games in all competitions, scoring 15 goals with 8 assists. You know, what an absolute fantastic season he's having at Sparta. Last season, he played 39 games in total, and he got 9 goals and 9 assists. So never scored as many goals, but he was still heavily involved in the assists. In the 2018-19 season, he played 34 games with 12 goals and 3 assists. He's been capped twice by the Czech Republic, and I think we could potentially get this player over the line for about £20 million. What do you think? I mean, okay, people might say, and I'm going to come into the chat in a second, how do you know so much about this player? How do you know so much about this player? And I say it every single time we do this video, but we don't just throw out these videos willy-nilly. We want to give you an intense amount of information if we can. So a mixture, yes, we do look at YouTube, we look at scout reports, and we watch and we try and match up and marry up what Moyes is looking for. And then we try and use a little bit of footballing knowledge and put that together to give you what we think the kind of player he will be. And that is what he looks like. He is a super talented, young, enthusiastic, up for it striker who's wanting to bag goals left, right, and centre, and he's doing that. He scored 4 the other day in the first half of Sparta's game. Man of the match, week in and week out performances. So there's a proper talent there, and it's about trying to get this deal over the line. So I'm going to jump into the comments and say hi to everyone as well. So let me just jump in and see who's in the chat. Anthony Baratzer. I have a feeling he will be the next big thing. We need to get him or Patson Daka sorted as soon as possible. 100%, mate. Gary Rutter, that right, Alex Kroll has basically agreed personal terms with the Mighty Hammers. This is what we're hearing. I think it's a no-brainer, to be honest, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the West Ham squad. Morning, Toby. Thank you for joining us. Clive, thank you very much for joining us. Mark Davis from Brisbane. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Mick, again, hope you're well. Good morning. Jake from West Ham Unofficial, head across there, subscribe to his channel. Thank you for joining us. Mick Anderton, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mick. It was good to have David Cross on. It's the second time he's been on the show, and he's a proper legend, absolute gentleman as well. Thanks, Jakey boy. Abu, hope you're well. He's singing the song about Alex Kroll. So it's looking exciting about getting him over the line, and I think it, fingers crossed, we will. Daniela Stewart, morning, Anton. Thank you very much for joining us. That's a shame if true for Jesse. It is, Mark, and I know sometimes these leaks do give you the right information, but I'm really hopeful that he does get included. I think it would be a huge shame. You know, I know he's performed so well for West Ham since joining, and it would be really disappointing in considering that he was involved in the last couple of squads as well. Yes, Toby, loved your Spanner collection last night, mate. This signing excites me. I mean, we're not signing this guy, but this is my reasoning why we should. I thought hopefully I've given you enough information there. Abu, happy with the Alex Kroll potential incoming? Absolutely. Quattro, it's 3 a.m. here, just can't sleep at all. Liking the early business, Abu, and I think it's good for us to do it. Am I the only one a wee bit nervous about the Kroll rumours? He's a great player, but he is an Eastern European rice. We need strength and depth, and we're going to be playing over 50 games, Toby, next season, and I think there's going to be plenty of games for every player to play. I think we've definitely got another season from Rice. I'm not concerned about it. I understand why people are concerned about it, but yeah, I'm absolutely. Thanks, Jake. If I could get a bigger bit of wood, I could have kept some more up. That picture is Thomas Rosicky and Hlozek. Yeah, it is. Yep, that's why I put it up, to show you that Thomas Rosicky is I think he's the technical director with Sparta Prague. And like I said, I wouldn't look at the fact that he just signed his 3-year contract extension with Sparta, because if you think back to Sufal with Slavia Prague, he signed a 2 or 3 year contract extension 2 months before he moved to West Ham. So there's obviously something there. I don't know if that's them protecting their asset, try and get as much money as they possibly can, but I can see it. Can see why Lingard's not being picked, still looking for his watch. Oh, I don't know. Clive, just watched a video of the England squad training an hour ago. Lingard was with the squad. It didn't look like a 30+ players, more like 20ish. I don't know. That's why I'm saying I don't really want to really report a huge amount on it. Carino, thank you very much for joining us. Didn't see Rice in those training videos, but they could have been filmed a few days ago. Yep, they could have. It was found around an hour before the squad was announced. But the squad isn't, I mean, I know the players will know, but it comes 5 o'clock. That's when we're told about the squad. We need someone who can hit from outside the box. And this is what this guy can do. He does shoot from outside the box, and he gets quite a lot of these chances on target. It's confirmed Jesse hasn't made the squad. It's not, there's rumours kicking out that he might not be making the squad, but I'm just going to wait and see. Gary, loved listening to Stell and the boys last night with David Cross. Could listen to Cross all day. It's great, isn't it? He's a proper gentleman. He loves coming on the show, and it's really nice to see him put the effort in as well with the fans. Although could mean we do business early on with Jesse now. Ivan Toney, the best English prospect in years. I don't know. I mean, I think he's great. I think he scored a lot of penalties as well. I think he looks like a good player. However, I trust in what Moyes is doing. I think what you'll find with players like Toney, who will stay with Brentford because they've announced their intention to keep him, and is that they'll keep him because he's in the Premier League. So it's a good opportunity for him to show what he's capable of doing. Everton have been linked with Coutinho, and we finished above them. Why aren't we linked with him? Well, I don't know. Do we need a Coutinho sort of player? I've got to put a huge amount of trust into what Moyes is building there, Toby. Final squad announced at 5 p.m. Greenwood is withdrawn, so hope Lingard makes it. Yeah, he's withdrawn from an injury. So it's not been decided 100%. The squad has not been decided yet. We must have competition to get him. I think we will have competition to try and go and get this guy. However, we've got to use our Czech ties with Souček, with Sufal, and the impending incoming of Alex Kroll. So that will be interesting to see. Unfortunately, he's just signed a 3-year contract extension. Either Sparta Prague are using that to increase his value, or he's actually not going anywhere. There's 2 ways to look at it, but as we discussed last night, still 3-year contract, 2 or 3 year contract extension for Sufal. It seems to be the going thing that the clubs in the Czech Republic do to potentially protect their asset. So we'll see. Fingers crossed for him then. Thanks for the update, Green. I don't know about the highlight of his name. Captain Parker, is he in the Czech squad? He will be, yes. And Toby Sampson, Anton did mention that still. It's just good business from them to keep his value and good for the player because he gets a pay rise until he leaves. Absolutely. You're right, mate. Jump to the comments. Good morning, King Stell. If you guys asked questions to David Cross last night and they didn't get asked, I screenshotted a lot of them and will ask them to David Cross soon on my channel or on West Ham United. Yes, Jake, absolutely. And Jake, I don't know if you've seen the end of the show, but you got bigged up on it quite a bit as well, mate. So really cool. Upton Parker, yes, he is. Maybe need to get him before the shows. What he can do at the Euros, absolutely, because that's what tends to happen. Hlozek and goalkeeper should be a priority. Yeah, absolutely. It was wicked last night. It's like they've all been mates with David Cross for years. It's mad, isn't it, Toby? It's absolutely crazy. And listen, on that as well, we've got maybe a few other things up our sleeves for you, which I think you'll enjoy. Upton Parker, he also came third in the Czech Player of the Year. What an honest man David Cross was. He was. Fresh fielder, Hlozek's 4 goals on Saturday, 1 pen right foot, 1 header, 1 on the right foot and 1 on the left foot. Absolutely. Mark Alexander, mixed emotions. Sad for Jesse if he gets left out, but less chance of injury and fresh for pre-season. As long as West Ham get the deal done before, if we can get the deal done for Jesse before the Euros, then I mean I want to see him there because I think he deserves his chance. He's done everything he can do right to put his name in the hat, and he's done that. The highlight names, type up in the @ when the name and the person you want to respond. The name will pop up, select it, and away you go. All right, okay, you're talking about how you talk to each other. Hi Anton, hope you're well, mate. Thank you, Stuart, for joining us. Rudolph, Adam is super. He is, mate. He looks good. David M. Lingard seems to be enjoying himself on the training pitch. Not sure what to believe if it was live. Abraham is too expensive. Yeah, I'm kind of being put off a little bit of Abraham. Listen, if he joins West Ham, I'll back him to the guns, but he's not my first choice, to be honest. MU don't want to pay our asking price for Rice, so they think they'll be him silly buggers and they can get him for 60 million. What arrogant. Yep, if it is true, but I mean, Rice is staying. Mitchell Coutinho's coming off a massive knee injury. He's not the same player he was in the Premier League. Yeah, agree with you, mate. Hlozek has the same agent as Souček. They do. They all work for the same team. I think it is KS2, I believe it is. Great show last night with David Cross. Thank you for joining us. Don't want to get the deal done and then he gets injured at the Euros, though. See, I've made that point before, but I don't know if it works that way anymore. I think we need to get deals done. And sometimes if you've got a player there, then we just need to go ahead and do it. Our smaller clubs getting wise by asking big players to sign rolling contracts. It seems that way. I think it seems that way. It seems to be that way in the Czech. It really does. Think you could do with a striker on a free like Giroud. He's gone. I think he's been signed from a Serie A club last night. So, yeah, Giroud's not going to be happening there. Psycho wanted to stay on all night. He did. Lingard and JWP are out of the England squad, ? I'm not going to report on it, to be honest. I'm not. I know sometimes these rumours can be true and sometimes they can be false, but I just want to wait and see. I just want to wait and hear what's actually going to happen with it, to be honest. Yes, Jake, we do have a few more things up our sleeves. We're going to have a chat, I think, me, you, your dad, and Stell, hopefully at some point this week. But we have a few more potentially ex-pros up our sleeves, which you'll hopefully really enjoy. Daniela, it'll always seem like the clubs have something in the contracts to trigger extensions that will stop the players bullying the clubs as much. Absolutely agree with you, mate. And Clive, Trevlin, got to miss the shows last night. Early, Mum needed me more. No, that's fine, mate. You've got to look after yourself, and that's the main thing. So listen, what do you think? Adam Hlozek from Sparta Prague is a player that we are apparently looking at. He signed a 3-year contract extension with Sparta, but, you know, that doesn't really mean too much, to be honest. If West Ham want to go and get the player and Sparta want to sell, then I think there's an option there, and they were forced to really play with him because he's such a talent. He is a talent and he does look like he's a real deal, and I think he'll work really well with the squad that Moyes is building. So, you know, initially he wasn't my first choice. I kept thinking Sima was my first choice, but I think it's actually Hlozek, and I think he would be absolutely fantastic for West Ham and David Moyes as well. So get your comments coming in, keep your thumbs coming up. We'll try and bring you a video later on when we know the squad is announced, and that will be a daily show. I'll speak to Stell and see who is around, and potentially we might be able to do that. So have a good day. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the thumbs up and leave the comments in, and let me know, do you want to sign this player that I've been talking about today? And put in the comments why. Thanks for joining us. Come on, you Irons.